What the fuck is going on, everybody? I'm your host, Nick Bocklidge. This is the WTF show, Winning the Flex. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there that are still drafting even on Father's Day. I have a special guest who not only is a father to his own kids, but all the lobbies that he is in with him. I have the man, Alan Seslowsky. How you doing, baby?
Oh man, no kids that I know about, but that doesn't mean that there are none out there. I mean, like I said, it's there's been some close calls here.
Yeah, you're a good looking guy. I'm sure. I'm sure that there might be some Allens out there.
Oh yeah, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. I don't want to. At this point, I'm not looking for any of that. So, on
Yeah.
Father's Day, I always say, better you than me.
Amen. Amen to that, brother. So, what is going on with your Father's Day? How did it start? And do you have anything planned after this?
Oh my God, no! This is like the perfect Father's Day thing. You know what? Because people are sitting around right now. They're doing the barbecue. They're bored. They're done. They just want to like draft their team. So you know what? This has always been one of my favorite things to do. Like when I'm out there, I just retweeted it for you too. So,
Okay,
um,
cool.
yeah, man. I think that Sunday's the perfect day. You could sit back. A lot of dads like when I talk to all my friends, like, so what are you doing today? They always say nothing, which is like perfect. People are sitting back. They want to do some drafts, and I'm excited to get into this thing, man. I want to see how you work a BBM.
Yes, yes, sir, man. I'm very excited to have you on. I know you do a bunch of dynasty. How much best ball and particularly maybe like underdog do you draft?
Oh, a ton, a ton. I was one
Yeah,
of Underdog's first 2,000 signups. I mean, yeah, I've been doing it.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if you know the history of Underdog. If you do, just cut me off, or maybe it's good for your audience. But there used to be a best ball platform called the Draft app. Are you familiar with that?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so I forget that it seems like so short ago, but so long ago. It
Mhm.
was Underdog, but it was just rebranded differently. It was called the Draft app. It was exactly the same. And then they sold the Draft app, which was a best ball platform on mobile, to FanDuel. FanDuel just killed it. There was a million reasons. And the original founders of Draft app just started Underdog. They started from scratch. So this Underdog has been around in some iteration. I mean, it's got to be going back about 8 years at this point, maybe more. I mean, I don't remember the exact thing, but I used to play on the Draft app, and I still do a ton of traditional best ball in here.
No, that's crazy. I actually did hear about that where Underdog was bought by like you said,
Well, the Draft app was bought by
Draft
FanDuel.
Apps of all, yeah.
Yeah,
And now it's crazy because Underdog is the biggest platform doing best balls right
yeah.
now, and it's only getting bigger and bigger. But I started Underdog. I think this is my third year going into
Mm-hmm.
Underdog. Started a couple years ago, converted from a Dynasty bro into a best ball bro now, and it's crazy doing my first year in best ball. I had a terrible year, and looking back, I was so dynasty pilled because I voted all the old guys, and I was taking so many rookies, and I was like, "Oh my god, like this is such a different game when
Oh
compared
yeah.
to dynasty."
Oh yeah, and regular redraft is so different than best ball, right? Because in redraft, you can get these like running backs that are not going to get a chance to play. You just put them on the back of your bench. There's an injury, you hope that it doesn't coincide with you needing some roster space. You put it in there. In best ball, man, that's it. I mean, you might not have any tight ends on your roster by week 4. There's nothing you could do about it.
No, no, that's so true. Now, I did listen to a podcast you did a couple days ago. I forgot who your guest was, but you were talking about how you were in what 41 dynasty startups, and now you dropped down to what 13, 14.
Yeah, yeah. I was in 41 dynasty leagues. It just all managed. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, I've
That's
cut it
crazy.
down by it was too much. But with best ball, by the end I'll do about 75 best ball when it's all done. BBMs, puppy,
Yeah.
all the different DraftKings, underdog, everything. So all in all, right now I'm at like 50. I'll endeavor to do another 25 at least.
25. Okay. You don't, dude. I think I've done like 250 in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, you're all in on it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And how many BBMs?
I'm at 25 BBMs right now, I
Yeah.
think. I'm
So, I
pretty
mean,
sure.
that's how you're supposed to do it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I used to, you know what? As I get away from more traditional redraft, I mean, I never did the whole like max out thing, but always at least 50 in a season. And like I said, I'll endeavor to do 75, which that used to be a lot. Now people laugh at me like, nah, I do 200. Like I'm telling you, it's like I haven't really changed. I've always been insane. I thought I do a lot of best ball, but
Yeah,
by today's standards, it's not even on the register. It doesn't even register.
No, it's not even close because you have people. There's people I know that's done like 300-400 already, and we're not even into peak drafting season yet, but we're coming close.
Yeah. Right.
So
it gets more casual though. Yeah, right. You can jump us in. You could jump us in. We could talk through it, and then
I was gonna say we're gonna jump into a 30-second BBM right now.
I feel like the 30s don't fill as fast. I feel like the 20s, like you go in and then it just fills.
Yeah, and plus it's +9, so I'm actually gonna back out and go to a 20-second.
Yeah, go to 20. We can handle a 20. Like when you're coming up on the pick, I'll just talk through it.
Yeah. I'm gonna let it be to you. I'm gonna refer to you for a lot of the picks this draft.
Oh, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
Well, you know what? I saw the tweet that Tyler put that we'll start 3 RBs. Well, I think we could get away with some 3 RB drafts.
I don't force it, but here's my overall philosophy is that, like I said, you know best ball backwards and forward. You have to adjust to the market, but I want 4 running backs on my roster, at least 3 that have guaranteed jobs that are not going to lose their job. But I go light. Sometimes I'll do a 3-4 running back build. I mean, mostly 4, and then I'll pitch in a 5th. But I don't mind the wide receiver volatility. I don't mind the Jalen Waddles loading up on that tier, because if you have 7, 8, 9 of those guys, you never have. The worst part about redraft is that you always have to pick the right week that some wide receiver is going to go off. You don't have to do that in best ball, but with running backs, if you can get those 3 workhorses, I feel like that is just you don't have to like speculate on guys that are just going to get zeros.
Yeah, 100%.
No one agrees with me though, just so you know.
Well, I agree with you, Alan, because I have started well, last year, obviously, if you were taking that approach, you look pretty good, right? Because last year it was a lot 0 RB, and obviously that went to shit because Barkley, Kamara,
Derrick Henry,
Joe Mixon was crushing it. So you had all these Gibbs, and then you had guys like Marvin Harrison was a 1st-round pick as a rookie.
I mean, you knew that was ridiculous. Obviously, I'm sure you got some because you didn't want to be left out. But to me, that was ridiculous.
No, so I think the market's corrected a little bit, but it's look, for example, like I don't know how you feel about like Quinshon Judkins, but if I could get him as my 3rd RB, like I love that, because I just think that he's gonna be a workhorse, produce compared to the receivers that's going around him. So
yeah, I mean if you have like a take that Quinshon he's available in like the 7th round, I'm assuming something like that around there. Yeah, like you get him in the 7th round, and you think that he's just as locked in as someone that you're getting in the 3rd, then that's a smart strategy, right? Like to get him as your 3rd or even 4th guy, depending on how heavy RB you went. That's great. It's just that usually, here we go. What number are we picking?
I think we got the 12th spot.
I don't mind that. Do you mind? What's your favorite?
My favorite is I like getting a top 6 pick because I do think there's a tier break. And then if we don't get a top 6, I love getting the 12 because you're walking away with 2 elite receivers usually, or you could take your favorite RB.
And where are you at on the stacking? What's it called? Again, of course you want to stack, but I don't push people out of the way to stack. But I understand why people do it.
So like I do try to stack my quarterbacks, especially if they're pocket passers, because I just think it correlates better with that. Now, let's say if we take Lamar Jackson, like I don't care about stacking that much.
Because you don't care about Zay Flowers because you don't think Zay Flowers is going to be a 1,400-yard receiver.
Exactly. So
right.
I'll be okay taking like Rashad Bateman in the hundreds, just to kind of get that correlation. But if I take, let's say, like if I have, if we take like a Brock Purdy, like I would like to have like at least George Kittle or one 49ers.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you'll see like people jump ADP by 2 rounds to stack.
Yeah, and I just think that's a bad play. I don't think you should force stacks. I just think, so like one of the things talked about on Twitter a lot is Joe Burrow at the 4-5 turn. You see, like let me ask you, if you have Chase and Higgins,
Mm-hmm.
are you taking Burrow at the 4-5 turn, or are you going to push it to
I,
the 6-7 turn?
I think that's an area where stacking makes sense, right? Like
Yeah,
even yeah, it's so yeah, you actually just made me contradict myself, and that's good. You made a great point. Is that Joe Burrow would go around later, more or less, right? He would go in like the 6 or 7. It depends. I would think in redraft he'll go a little bit earlier, but in best ball, let's see
he
what's
goes
his
pick 60 right now, but he
right,
started at pick 48,
right.
but he's been falling more lately
Why do you think that is?
because I think he's overvalued compared to as a pocket passer when you compare to the quarterbacks later.
Right, right.
But
It's
yeah,
stacking is what pushes him up. So
is because Jamar Chase goes at 1.1, so the team at the 4-5 turn is like, well, let me just take Joe Burrow. But now we see he's falling, so now people are pushing him at the 6-7 turn, which
right.
value makes sense. But
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to take T Higgins on the 2-3 turn then, and then if you want to make sure you get him.
yeah, exactly. So we
Yep.
we are coming up right now on two
All right, let's
picks.
say. All right, let's think this through here.
So
So
Genty, I don't think
I
Genty will
don't.
fall to us, but I'm not
Yeah,
really a Genty guy.
I don't mind receivers though here, right? This is the
Yeah,
receiver spot. So let's just see what's on. I would just highlight the take out the tight end, just see what the running backs and receivers are.
yeah. Can you see right now, Marcy
Oh
Brown,
yeah,
Brian
yeah,
Sanders,
yeah. I
Genty?
mean,
Okay,
if Amon Ra is going to fall because of this injury news, you got to take him. Oh, he just went.
he
Okay.
does go. So
Yep. I mean, so here's exactly what we were talking about. I mean, you pick who you want. This is your $25, but BTJ and Ashton Genty is a hell of a start, no?
yeah, for sure. I haven't been taking much Genty lately because he was going at the 6-7
At
spot.
12, you got to take him.
12,
12.
you got to take him for sure. And he
Yep.
doesn't like maybe he's falling a little more lately, but this is a little fall we have from he gets picked around 10.
Yeah.
We get him at 12.
Yeah. And
BTJ, I love
oh,
also.
yeah. I mean, BTJ is like the next guy that could enter that Jamar Chase, Jefferson, Lamb tier, right? Like he's
Mhm.
next year we could be like, oh, and BTJ.
For sure. Like, I don't think it would surprise anybody if BTJ is going where JJ or CD Lamb is next year.
Oh yeah. Like I mean, he's being drafted at his low. This is the cheapest you're going to get him for the next 3 years.
Yeah. Let me
Mhm.
actually, well, real quick, let me just check on chat real quick before we
Sure,
get
sure.
further because there's a lot I want to talk to you about this. So appreciate everyone coming in, stopping by. Hit that like button. If you're not sub up to the channel. We do have a sub goal for 500. Once we hit 500, we will be doing a 12-hour stream and giving away 12 BBMs.
Giving away 12 BBMs.
Yeah, potentially giving away millions of dollars, man.
You are a sick bastard. I love it.
Yeah. What's up, Tim? What's up, Kevin?
Is that AI or is he that big? Tell me in real life. Is he that jacked or is that all AI bullshit now? Come on.
I think you see my uncle, right? You see, so yeah.
Yeah.
Might be a little enhanced, but no,
Oh,
yeah.
that's too good. Yeah, you just spilled the tea here,
Look at
man.
these. Nah,
Yep.
he looks
So,
good. Tim, okay. What were you saying?
no, I love that we were able to at least have one RB and one wide receiver. It really gives us a lot of options moving forward. We could really proceed any way we want here.
So at the 1-2 turn, you'll notice too. I do like having a balanced approach because coming up at the 5-6 turn, there's a ton of RBs that I love at this range.
Yeah, that Walker, Kamara, Harvey,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, and then obviously your boy Quinchon is the bottom of that tier.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to guess, who do you think is going to have more fantasy points in 2024, Judkins or Harvey? And we'll use this format: half PPR.
Happy we are. Dobbins does make things a little more interesting for
Oh
sure.
yeah,
Man, that's tough.
it's a coin flip. You're allowed to say it's a coin flip.
No, it's fair. I think if I had to bet money, I'm gonna go Harvey still, just because I think the offense is so much better,
Right.
and he is gonna be the pass catcher. I would assume, but I don't know. What do you think?
I agree with you because if Judkins has 6 like if you were going to set his under over for touchdowns, it'd be like what 5.5 for rushing touchdowns just because of the offense
For Junkins or Harvey?
for Judkins. For Harvey, it's probably higher than that, right?
Yeah, Junkins probably 5.5, man. Because I think last year the Browns only had like 18, like 19. What was it? Passing touchdowns, and then rushing. I don't even know what they had.
I mean, that was a bad situation. If you were investing in Browns, you want Flacco, right? To start,
Mad. I mean, I'm not gonna be taking any Flacco in tournaments like these, but like,
No, I'm not saying you want him on your team. You just want
one
if
side,
you
yeah,
have like Judy or Judkins, you're going to want Flacco to be the quarterback to make the offense go.
yeah. If you told me Joe Flacco was gonna start like 8, 10 games, I'm raising
Yep.
all the Browns higher. Like
All
Joe
right.
Flacco is good for fantasy. All
All
right,
right.
so
We're up
we're
here.
on the
So
clock, so we have a couple options. I'm a big Tech guy. Mike Evans, I'm okay with. How do you feel about the rookies? Ted, Travis Hunter.
I like them, but I don't trust them in this type of a tournament. But I understand why someone would, right? I mean, Mike Evans is like a terrible, boring pick, right? I mean, you can if you want to go receivers, you can take them both. I mean, this is your dime, man. You got to pick them.
No,
So
no. But when you're drafting, do you take more of the elite quarterbacks, or are you prone
I
to let it?
I'll I like an elite quarterback, but but because then you're in a 2 quarterback build. Oh, you got Lamar. I
Yeah,
think you got to grab him, right?
yeah. I
Yeah.
like Lamar at the 3-4
Yeah.
turn.
Yep. So yeah, I'm an elite quarterback guy. I was getting them in the 4th round. That's not happening anymore, as you know. They're all like, 3-4 turn type of players, right?
Yeah,
But then it changes the build a little bit, right? You agree that if you have Lamar, we only need one more guy.
for sure. Yeah,
If Jared Goff is our, somewhere in there, or like even if I would say how far down do you go before you're like, I need a 3 quarterback build?
it depends on the value. Like if I feel like, because so if I
Let's
take Lamar, I'm
let's take a look at
probably
that list. Yeah, let's take a look at that list.
like I'm waiting more towards the hundreds, like Fields, Purdy, Caleb. Like I'm okay with any quarterback, honestly, all the way to like Bryce Young. Like I'd be okay with Bryce Young, Lamar if it makes sense.
Oh
But
yeah,
if we get like where Kyle Murray is just the best player on the board, like I would take him with Lamar.
right, right. I agree with that. Now, what I'm saying is like, if you're just have you done any builds so far this year where you're just completely waiting and you're like taking Dak as your QB1, Bryce as your QB2? So like in that like ninth through whatever round, you're just grabbing 2 QBs in 3 rounds. Have you done that?
Yeah, I think that's my most common build where to me, the best value of the draft is these quarterbacks in the early hundreds where I'll go Justin Fields, I'll take Drake May, and then I'll have like a Bryce Young or
Yeah.
Tua. I just think the quarterbacks in this range is so good, and a lot of them run the ball as well, which
I'm
is nice to
surprised.
get.
The 2 guys that I'm surprised are still so low. Like I have Trevor Lawrence as a top 10 quarterback this year. The
Mhm.
setup is just so good, Nick.
I love Trevor Lawrence this year with I mean Travis Hunter, if he is that guy and T-Law does run the ball, like he is set for success.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and it's like it's so easy to look at what Liam Cohen did with Tampa Bay last year, how he had a distressed quarterback, number 1 overall pick quarterback like Baker Mayfield revives them. Right,
Mhm.
they have the 2 good receivers. They had the 4th round running back with Bucky Irving. Now they have it with Tootin. They have the Travis Etienne, which is like their Rashad White from last year. It's just so easy to make that comparison that Trevor Lawrence should be like QB 12, not QB 19, whatever the hell he is.
Yeah, like I think you can make a case T-Law over Herbert, Love,
Over Caleb, over Dak for me. For me,
yeah,
again, yeah,
yeah.
over
Jared
Goff.
Goff too. Like Goff is, in a great offense, but T-Law runs the ball more,
Yeah,
which,
well,
does help.
why does Mahomes get? I mean, Mahomes gets picked all the way up there. That's crazy to me. That's name value, right?
It's a name value, 100%.
Yeah.
Mahomes has performed worse than like
All
eight
those
guys
guys.
behind. Yeah.
Yeah. Fields, I would if I'm doing a ranking in a single quarterback league, I'm putting like Fields at like QB 7 or 8. It's like if you miss on that, Drake May is on the waiver wire in most redraft leagues.
Yeah. How do you well, real quick, let's
Yeah.
make this pick. So, like I
Yeah.
said, the RBs are falling. How do you
Yep.
feel like so I do want are you in on Chuba? Do you like the old guys like Mixon and
Well,
Kamara?
Mixon's got the boot on right now. I mean, there's going to be so many, so I wouldn't take him there. But what are the receivers? I mean, the receiver value is there, right? You said the other guys.
We
Yeah.
could do Godwin with
Well,
Evans
God,
and
well, Godwin, I don't like because of
Chris
here. You pick who you
Olave.
want, yeah, because I just don't think he's going to start on pup. I'm worried about a lot. Yeah, Olave. I also go ahead, make your first
Yeah,
pick.
yeah, yeah. I love Chris Olave this year.
Yeah, you're getting him so cheap this year. And then there was another. I mean, God, take who you want here, and we'll talk through it after.
Yeah, it's either Godwin or I actually do like the RBs here. And
hmm
man,
The reason I don't like Godwin is because I think there's a good chance he starts the year in pup. You might miss those first 4.
yeah. I went Joe Mixon there. I just think Joe
Okay,
Mixon is I don't know.
stud.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about like production profiles and what they could do for offense, like what's the difference between Joe Mixon and Kyron Williams? That goes
Oh
maybe
yeah,
2
yeah.
rounds there, right?
They added. I mean, they added Nick Chubb, so I don't think that's exactly who you want added, right? Like if you
Yeah.
draft Mixon, you don't want them adding like someone who's good at this point. But Mixon was in a walking boot up until yesterday. They said he shed it and he's going to start training camp on time. So I'm back in on Mixon. I was a little bit out.
Yeah, Mixon was going around the 4 or 5 turn, then he starts slipping, and then once Nick Chubb signed, he's falling a little more at the 5, 6 turn.
I mean that Nick Chubb should get what 3 or 4 touchdowns this year, right? So
Probably, yeah.
that comes out of Mixon's pocket.
Potentially, I think I do wonder if Nick Chubb is just like the Damian Pierce, right? Just more trusted as a veteran. Um, I don't know, man. It's tough with the Nick Chubb review. Like I think J.K. Dobbins is definitely a bigger threat to Harvey than
Oh yeah.
than Chubb to a Mixon. But how do you feel about Chris Olave and kind of like the bounce back receivers? Because we saw Chris Olave, Jalen Waddle, both 2nd-round receivers in underdog going around the 5, 6 round now.
Love them both. I think you were very sharp move to pick out Olave there. I mean, the guy, like you said, was going in the middle of the 2nd round. Had a bad year, right? Got a little dinged up. I mean, the only thing that you're concerning is who the hell is going to play quarterback. But look, I mean, it sometimes when you have a rookie quarterback like Tyler Shuck or Spencer Rattler, who's in his 2nd year, those guys look for the alpha receiver, right? They pepper the alpha receiver. They're not going to just start, So I think that Olave, where do you get him this year? It's such a bargain.
What is it that Matt Kelly would say? Tom Savage correlator, or
are you saying the Tom Savage corollary where he just feeds
Tom
DeAndre
Savage
Hopkins?
yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right. Doesn't matter how bad Tom Savage was, he's going to throw to DeAndre Hopkins at that time in the Houston Texans.
Yeah, where Hopkins had like a monster year and everybody was fading him because of Tom Savage.
I do not want you drafting any more Chris Godwin, though. I really think that's a bad vibe.
Are you really against Godwin this year? Well, what if like doesn't the contract kind of give you a little more confidence in starting
for like long term dynasty? Yeah,
no,
I think
like okay,
yeah, that's what I'm saying, but not in best ball. In best ball, like let me ask you this: like if he starts off the year on PUP, he got hurt. I mean, what week 3 last year? I think it was something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not like even if he doesn't start on PUP. That it's sometimes these guys start off pretty slow. Like, he could be wide receiver 45 for the first 8 weeks. And then it could, I guess, I don't know. There's just, you find so many damn injuries in this game that we play here. I just don't want to start my team with them if I don't have to.
The one thing I'll say about Godwin about the Bear case is I think Emeka is a really good receiver. And I do think that he could take more of a target share from Godwin for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to – and then the Jalen McMillan's there too. Obviously, that's – people think he's just going to go away. I can't see that happening. All right, we're up again?
Yeah. So for me, I'm trying to get more Josh Downs. I think Josh Downs –
I love that call. That's a great call.
Is a potential breakout a breakout player. So definitely Downs here. And then
he already broke out, right? I mean, why the hell is Josh Downs still on the board, right? Especially if Daniel Jones is going to potentially be the starter.
Last year, I think in 14 games, he put up 72, 800, and 5 touchdowns.
That's a good call out. All right. And so who else are we taking?
I think Tony Pollard's a good value here as well.
I mean, it's like one of those boring picks that you love. And you know what? You're showing me right now the case for waiting on running back is so apparent, right? Like, we're getting guys. It's fun. Tony Pollard's not the locked in 300 touch, 250 touch starter. He's in a timeshare. Tajay Spears, who knows? But it's pretty much close enough, right? It's enough.
Yeah. Like I know the coach this offseason saying, "Oh, we're gonna play Spears more." Blah blah. He said that last year, and we saw Tony Pollard go out there and get 30 touches when he was banged up. So I just like you said, like at the 1-2 turn, I think you go receiver early, and then you're still getting projectable volume at the RB position.
You know what? You've made the case. You've showed it to me. I'm in. I still like. And I guess I think it depends on where. Like if you're in a spot where you're drafting Bijan. In the top, 6 he goes obviously, and then you come back around and like Kyron's there. It's tough to pass on him there, and then you come back around the other way. Chase Brown's there. I'm like, it's just it depends, but I totally see the rationale the other way.
I just want to shout out T Clark 29. He's in this draft with
Nice.
us as well. He has Bijan as 1.1. So like every draft he's in, he takes Bijan 101. Just
I love it.
why? But
I
yesterday,
get
I was gonna say yesterday I had a start where I went CMC, Devon Achane. I got Rashid Rice fall to me, and then Kyron Williams fell in the fourth. So
Why is he going in the fourth? Is there some bad news that I missed?
it's the same thing with I think the reason why people are doing the same thing they did last year was they have Jarquez Hunter, who's a fourth rounder who has some juice. But we saw that last year with Blake Corn, where Corn was a top 100 pick almost, and he didn't do anything. So
yeah, Corn. I mean, I think that says more. The Hunter pick probably says more about their lack of faith in Corum.
yeah,
Look, if we were just doing this on true value, Kyron Williams should probably be a 1-2 turn pick, right? Like he's not going there. You don't have to take him there. But usually if I have like an early first rounder and Kyron sitting there coming back on the 2-3 turn, I'm either taking him at like 23 overall or 26 or 7. That's how I've done it. And that's why Tyler was goofing on me because that's how I play it.
and I know like in like a traditional redraft, like Kyron's gonna go way higher than the best ball, right? Like Kyron, like you said, he should be going around like Devon Achane, Bucky,
Ahead of
Taylor,
them, ahead of those
right?
guys. I mean, he's just locked in, man. It's just, I mean, and think about if he was like a first round pick like second round pick in the real NFL draft, we wouldn't be having these conversations. This is leftover draft capital bias.
100%. And like Kyron, if she wasn't great last year, but I don't care. The offense is going to, like I would say the offense is going to be better with Devontae Adams. Like it's going to move the ball more. Adams might steal some touchdowns from the goal line, but I don't care.
Right.
I think they love Kyron, and if he does get an extension this offseason, he's gonna move up, and people are gonna be like, seeing him go more near the more early third.
Totally agree. We are in line on this. Now you mentioned Abuka earlier. Where are you on drafting in best ball? Burden and Abuka are in, out. I mean, I'm not saying about talent. Just talking about like what do you think they could deliver this year?
That's a great question. I'll answer that right after we make our pick. So,
we're coming up. Okay,
we do have Andrews fall. We could do the Lamar thing.
I like that.
Receivers, we have Bateman too. Could do that.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's a good play. But go Bateman and Andrews. Now we have a stack. Yeah. We're locked in. Like you said, nobody's like pushing each other. We got these stacks at value.
No, I think Mark Andrews potentially is undervalued. Maybe because he was coming off a tightrope surgery, and then he got into a car crash where he missed 2 weeks of practice last year. So,
yep, I'm with you.
Yeah, Rashad Bateman.
I mean, Andrews is like an all-timer. Like people forget that, He's not old. He's just that's who Lamar Jackson looks to all the time. I mean, it likely is a nice little story, but I think we got these guys. We didn't have to like jump value to get this stack. So, you're going to tell me about Burden and Abuka, how you're playing them.
So Burden, I wasn't taking too much because like about 3 weeks ago, he was going around like in the 80s, but now he's falling to like the hundreds or something. So I'm mixing him a little bit. Emeka's one where I like a lot. Like he's someone that I think I'm gonna be overweight on because I think he has contingent value, as in if you're fading Godwin, then it just makes sense to be in on Emeka in that offense. So
right, just again, the cost is, I just think Jalen McMillan is like the screaming must draft. Doesn't he go like around? Oh, man. I mean, again, just the value, just value. Like, where does he go? Does he go like the 12th or like to go like the 15th?
He goes 157, which I think the 14th round.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, again, it's not. I'm not saying that you can't get the other guys, but that's if you're fading Godwin. I mean, he actually showed it on the football field already, right? I just can't imagine that after you flash like that they're just going to sideline you.
Yeah, and he does have value, contingent value too, because if Godwin's not himself, maybe Emeka's not a great rookie, or Mike Evans gets hurt. So
I'm with you though. I like Abuka. I would draft him where he goes. Burden's the one like I've literally just crossed off my list. Like if there was a hide button, hide player, I would do that. There's zero chance I would draft Burden, and not because I don't think he's going to be good or in like Dynasty where we take him, it's a good pick. It's just that like there's almost no chance that he is like breaks fantasy and is like the star wide receiver for the Bears this year, or certainly in the first 10 weeks.
Yeah, I agree with that. Who's been your most drafted rookie in startups right now or rookie
In be-
draft?
yeah, I mean it's the same in best ball. That's a good question. It's the same in best ball as it is in it's Bashal Tootin, and I know he's fallen a little bit
Really?
lately.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, we always say this year's Cooper Cup. It's this year's Bucky Irving, right? Like, isn't that we talked about it at the top of the stream. It's just so easy to see him ascending. And now the reports lately, Nick, are like that he's not even running with the twos anymore. So it's probably
Yeah.
going to keep dropping. So I just think the upside of it hits is Devon Achan, right? Like the speed is there. He
Yeah.
he was part of their plan of why they got the jobs. Like they said, we're going to draft this speedster running back in the 4th round when we have our pick. He's part of their plans. Now, again, if he sucks, it's just not going to work out. That's fine. But when you talk about most drafted, it might be like a little bit take locky where I just go here. You're picking again, so I'll just talk through this a little bit. What do you? No,
Yeah.
you talk through the pick. What are you thinking about here?
So right here, I think Trevor Lawrence, we
Oh yeah,
take our second quarterback. We have Brian Thomas. We're done there.
yes.
And then Tucker Kraft is just, I'm just trying to draft him every draft now. Dude.
So we're in a full agreement. Give me the case for Tucker Kraft.
Tucker Kraft had 50 for 700 and I think what 6 or 7 touchdowns. I think he could be just a double-digit touchdown and potentially the number one on the Packers. Actually, Alan, are you there? I think I might have lost you. One sec, guys. I think I lost Alan, but I'm sure he'll come back right now. We just take T-Law and Tucker Kraft. I think he got so excited about my Trevor Lawrence and my Tucker Kraft pick that he spazzed out, and then he just had a malfunction. In the meantime, once he comes back, I'm gonna check on.
There we go. Can you hear me?
There we go. Yes, sir.
Was that me or was that you?
I'll take the blame on this one.
No. I'm
Nah.
making a joke. That's funny. So my internet must have gone down for a second
I
because I was
telling
able.
Yeah, I was telling the chat that you were so excited that we took T-Law and Tucker Kraft that you just spazzed out.
Yeah, that was it. I left. No, give me the case for Tucker Kraft because RotoWire asked me to put together like a sleepers list, and I added him 5 sleepers that I must draft in every draft, and I put Kraft on that list.
Well, one is he goes too late. Like I think Tucker Kraft should go ahead. The rookie tight ends like Warren, Loveland. I'm okay with Tucker Kraft over guys like Kelsey, even Mark Andrews. You want to make the case. The reason being is because he potentially might be the number one receiving option from Jordan Love. Last year, he kind of broke out. He had 7 touchdowns, 700 receiving yards. And we see tight ends kind of with his profile just, exceed as they grow into the role. So I don't know. I just think Tucker Kraft in a happy PPR is one of the few tight ends that can score 10 touchdowns.
Oh yeah. No, so we're in agreement here. The rationale being that, look, sometimes the second tight end drafted, which, he was, right? Musgrave was the first tight end drafted in that same class by Green Bay. And then it's like the Mark Andrews, Hayden Hurst thing, right? So
yeah, exactly.
We see it often. So I'm totally with you here. And it's nice to hear Jordan Love highlight Tucker Kraft as one of the standouts in camp, one of the guys that's going to make the offense tick. I like this call a lot. He's going tight end 13-ish is like his price.
He's going too late. Yeah, he's like tight end 13 right now. And like I said, like I think Loveland and Warren are great tight end prospects, but
yeah,
when you have a tight end that did what he did last year, and look, I think Matthew Golden could be a good player, but he's not an alpha.
Right.
They don't have a true alpha that's going to demand a high target share.
Right. It's like almost Matthew Golden. If all works out, he could be like what Deshaun Jackson was. Remember Deshaun Jackson when he was popping, a couple big plays that tilt the field. Maybe Will Fuller, something like that.
Yeah. Just something like a deep ball, kind of like a JMO, right?
Exactly. Now JMO seems to be route treeing, but you're right. Like what JMO was, it's like 4 catches for 88 and 2, which is great. I mean. But then it kind of goes to sleep for a couple games.
Yeah, so we are back on the clock. I'm in on Roshan this year.
I love it.
Otherwise,
yep. I like it. They didn't add anybody of note.
No, and then who else?
Roshan can be like the David Montgomery for Ben Johnson, right? I mean, that's the hope.
That's the thesis, man.
Yep.
And then
I mean,
Romeo Dobbs, I've been taking a
take
decent amount.
him. I mean, where I said about Jalen McMillan, but you got to go with what you feel there. So, what round are we in? Let's see.
Round 14 right now.
Yeah. So okay, I was just curious because that's where I saw McMillan at the top of the queue. So what is
Yeah.
it about Dubs? Because some would argue Romeo Dubs is a floor play, so that's not necessarily a bad thing as your wide receiver 5.
Well, the thing with Dobbs is like he's a boring player, but I think boring players are okay in baseball sometimes,
Oh
especially
yeah.
if you're taking rookies, you're taking guys like Rashad Bateman is the opposite of Dobbs, where he's more of a spike player. The thing with Dobbs is like he's gonna be on the field the most of any receiver. There's a chance he might get traded. And 2 years ago, he put up 8 touchdowns. So like
Yep.
maybe he is someone that's just gonna be a guy that Jordan Love looks to. And
Yeah,
then
he's
so
like a Jacoby Myers type. Like you're never like thrilled to start him, but you're happy you have him. It's like you look up and touchdown for Green Bay. It's you're pretty much like, oh wait, oh it's Romeo Dobbs again, right? Like when you're watching the red zone. I'm not against. I told you there is where I would have possibly looked.
you would went McMillan right there, right?
Right, but I don't have a hard feeling. Like I know McMillan could be like a 0. Like you said, there is that chance that he's just that Godwin's healthy and Mike Evans is still a stud and Emeka Buka, they want to get him on the field. They drafted him, so then McMillan gets mothballed.
Yeah. Like I said, maybe I have a blind spot with McMillan because last year I was very impressed with what he did. Like he was crushing it, but
if he's there in the 15th, you got to think about it.
Yeah, in baseball too, it makes sense, right? Maybe he is someone that's just a big, deep threat guy, and maybe Godwin starts on the pup. So.
Let's talk about structure for a second here. Are we thinking the 3 tight end build with we have 2 good ones? We have 2 top 15 tight ends. Does it just have to be value, or do you proactively want a 3rd tight end?
It depends. Like this, I feel great about 2 tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would prefer a 3rd quarterback actually over a 3rd tight end because I think if we get a 3rd quarterback stacked, I think that could help be more helpful.
Yeah. So who would be our stack options? Who is our?
So right now we have.
It would be Tyler Shuck or something like that.
Shuck or
Daniel
Jones, yeah. How are you feeling about the Colts this year and the whole quarterback situation?
The reason I don't like Daniel Jones is because of if they're out of it when it's time for like the money weeks. They might just want to see what they have in Anthony Richardson. And then even if he doesn't deserve the job, Richardson gets the job because he only has a handful of professional starts. So that's the risk in best ball is that he's not there when you need him. Yeah.
That's a good point because maybe Daniel Jones does start and then the Colts are not in the playoff contention.
Right. They're 3-7.
Yeah.
And
you want to show your 4th overall pick. Hey, like, you know what? Throw him out there. Maybe he's going to do something.
Right. And even if he doesn't, like the last 6 games of the year, they might say it doesn't matter. If he fails, then he's going to fail into the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, 100%. So we have 4 more picks left.
Yep. So let's figure out what we want to do, right? Pop Douglas I've been into lately. He's been in they said been showing out in camp. He's been like, but again, there's also a very crowded room there. Tyler Shuck, it sounds okay. You added him. Let's see what else you got there.
So DeMar Douglas, I love DeMar Douglas. I
from Jacksonville, by the way, where I live, from Jacksonville.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Shout out Douglas.
There you go.
That's the narrative. So Douglas, and then I do think we need one more RB here, just so we do have a Raven thing doing that we can do.
Who's of these guys? Who do you like here? I mean, Keaton Mitchell's the upside guy, right?
And we could get him. You know what? You might hate this clip, but Miles Sanders, I've been pulling up.
No, I don't hate it. I don't hate it as much as everyone else does. I mean,
I don't care. He's dusty. Javante's dusty. He goes 100 picks earlier. Give me the one that's going the latest.
Exactly. It's so easy to see. Like, you're going to get 60 yards and a half a touchdown a game out of Miles Sanders, right? Meaning like a touchdown every other game. So maybe he gets in your lineup 4 times.
It's just like we saw this last year with Zeke and Rico, where Rico, I think, is an okay back, but he's not great. But the Dallas backfield is going to be valuable. And if we have no talent on the roster, Jaden Blue, I think, has juice, but he's not going to be a workhorse there.
He's not going to be someone you want in year 1. I think he'll be on the drop list bubble next year for dynasty players.
Yeah, I'll say this: like when you have reports that like Turbin's going to be playing at running back, it's like okay, they don't have a true running back, so I'm gonna take the guy in the last like few rounds that maybe could score 6, 7 touchdowns.
Okay, so we have 2, 5, 7, and 2. So I think you want to pad some receivers here, right? Or you're just going to go for value no matter what?
No, I think one more receiver we should do for this build. I mean, quarterback, tight end, we're more than strong enough, so we don't need to take one there unless maybe Shuck falls.
Right.
RB, I do think that I've been doing a lot of 5 RB lately. If I go like 3 RBs that, like you said, are projectable on a weekly basis.
And Roshan is the one that could really, like I said, he could be the low yardage, high TD guy, right? Like Jamal Williams had 20 touchdowns 2 years ago. That could be his role in the Ben Johnson offense.
That's how I'm playing it. Where it's like, look, Roshan's not gonna get 20 touchdowns, but like, what if Swift? What if Ben Johnson doesn't like Swift and he just wants Roshan, who is actually the best pass protector back there, and he's a goal line back. He scored 6 touchdowns on 55 carries last year.
Yeah, I mean, if I said, what would you set his touchdown line at? How many? If they said he is the goal line back, like he's the David Montgomery, Jamal Williams, 6.5, 7.5. What would be the number? Right, it'd be something like that, right? And you'd probably take the over.
I would take the over for sure. Like if you told me he was a goal line back for all year, he's gonna get double-digit touchdowns.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So where you got him is a sick value. Pick 156, even though it's a little ahead of ADP. I love it.
Yeah, I'm not into the Kyle Manga or whatever.
No.
Yeah,
that's dynasty players this time of year. I mean, of course it could happen, but
Okay.
All right. So what are we thinking here? We're coming up.
Yeah, so I think Tyler Shuck would be just nice to have. Their quarterback, and
the good news is Shuck will be there when you need him, right? Like he'll probably finish the year no matter what.
Yeah, I think they saw what they saw with Spencer Rattler, where I don't think they're gonna be like, hey, let's just see what this second. They also took him kind of high in the draft, early
pick 40 or something like that.
So So when you are looking at these 18-round picks, who's your favorite receiver here?
I mean, I'm surprised you can't tell after I've talked about the Jaguars. Diami is the one. Yeah,
and he's actually falling a little bit too.
Yeah, I mean, only because if you're in the Jaguars offense, you have Trevor, we have BTJ. If God forbid BTJ misses a game or two, at least it's Diami, right? And those touchdowns that don't go to BTJ, if he has a couple, if they're doubling him up on week, and Travis Hunter's not ready for prime time, those are going to be Diami touchdowns.
Oh, 100%. And if it's also like, if you're not a Travis Hunter guy, then that just means Diami Brown's going to be more on the field, or
you could be both. Targets. You could like Travis Hunter, and Diami could give us 3 spike weeks.
Yeah, I love it. And then Tyler Shuck, I'm more than okay with, because I feel really strong about everything else. Cool. Let me see. Let me just catch up with Chad, and then we'll go over this team right now.
So if this team wins the, what is it, $3 million? Is it $5 million this year?
For first place?
Yeah.
$2 million.
$2 million?
I think so, yeah.
You'll fly me out to Vegas. We'll have a crazy weekend of debauchery if this is the winning ticket.
If you thought the Hangover crew had a fun night, you don't know what we're gonna be doing. I'll tell you that.
Right.
No, for sure. I mean, this might just be the $2 million winner, guys. So you guys might want.
Oh, it's guaranteed. I've already spent most of it, so so we better win. I need to make it up.
Yeah. Well, let's review this team. So this is a 3-5-8-2 team. We have Lamar Jackson, Trevor Lawrence, Tyler Show, where we're feeling really good about our quarterbacks right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. RBs, Genty, Mixon, Pollard, Roshan, Sanders, where Genty's are gonna be our workhorse every week. Mixon, Tony Pollard, I think are both guys that they're more on the older side, but they do project for a lot of volume. And then Roshan, the David Montgomery in the new Ben Johnson offense, and then Miles Sanders as we'll see.
All right. Got to have someone at that depth, But by the way, stick on this for a second here. So you were advocating for Miles Sanders, and I totally love the case you made. The case, if you remember, going back to that pick, the one I said was I can't believe I just forgot who's on the Ravens. What's his name? I can't believe it. Keaton Mitchell. Keaton Mitchell, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, which one of those guys can end up being a top 12 running back? That's why I was advocating for Mitchell. But you're right. Sanders might be able to fill in a couple weeks. If he ends up being the lead running back in Dallas for a couple weeks and say like Mixon's missing a week with an ankle, it's probably you're going to want Sanders. I was just trying to swing for the home run fence there. So I like our room, how it's balanced, though. All right,
Yeah.
wide receivers.
Yeah, no, Mitchell's a great call. I do take him. I just think with Sanders it's more it's just an open competition, right? While Mitchell has the big dog Henry there.
And Justice Hill ahead of him on the depth chart.
Yeah, exactly. So
no,
receivers,
smart.
BTJ, Mike Evans, Chris Olave, Josh Downs, Rashad Bateman, Dobbs, Douglas, and Dami Brown. Chef's kiss. Yeah, I love this receiver room.
Yeah.
And then tight ends, Mark Andrews, Tucker Kraft. Both probably going to be, potentially the target, gain the touchdowns on the team.
So here's what we say. Like, Travis Kelce's been degraded, right? So he's now like the Mendoza line. Do you think both of our guys can finish better than Travis Kelce in fantasy points in the fantasy season? The answer is
yes, of course. Exactly. Yeah, 100%.
Right. So Kelce's like kind of like, the exact definition of like middle of the road. He's got upside. He's got a, maybe a theoretical floor, but he's damaged good. So I like our guys here.
Yeah. I love our guys. Adam does agree too. He says this team is good.
Oh, not good. This is an elite level team right here. Elite. Yeah. This is like a $2 million contender.
Yeah. Let me you know what, real quick, let's just go over, T Clark, right? From all the dynasty leagues.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this his team? Is this garbage team? Horrible team. Garbage.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't see you. Okay.
Wait, let me go to it real quick. I'll say how many terrible trades have I sent you, Alan? Since all the leagues.
Oh no, you're good. You don't send bad trades.
Okay, just you send bad trades.
Yes.
Yeah. It's always no you send good trades. It's always easy though, because like you do prefer like the older guys. So I would always
I don't prefer the older guys. I like the price. I had this conversation with a couple people. I like the price on the older guys. See, one of the best like dynasty startup tips or like I guess tricks is look at where these guys like Mike Evans is like a perennial example. Look where he goes in redraft. Look where he goes in like dynasty startups. There's too big of a chasm there, right? Derrick Henry, I got him in like the 7th round of a dynasty startup. It was super flex, but the guy is arguably in a single quarterback, like a late 1st round, early 2nd round pick. That's just too big of a chasm. So it's not that I like them. I like the price on those guys.
Well, how do you like Tyreek's price for dynasty right now?
Yeah, I mean he's a tough buy right now, right? I mean it's fair, but it's just like someone offered me the 201 for him the day, and I said no. Like I don't want the 201. I don't want either. I didn't want to make a trade. I'm too scared to trade him. I'm too scared to keep him. Just because he's not the type of receiver, Nick, that like ages well, right?
No. Like I could see him bounce back, but I don't want to bet on it. I think I'd rather just
But Evans, who does it every year, that's a reasonable bet. Henry, who doesn't look, So let's take a look at T. Clark's, because this garbage team, I'm going to predict he'll finish in the top 11 in our little league here.
Yeah, he waits on Bo Nix, Bryce Young, Cam Ward. That's like way too late for quarterback, right?
I mean, just don't even draft him at that point, right?
Yeah, right. Bijan at the 2 pick, he reaches right here. Taylor, he takes Junkins, what I was talking about. So
I don't mind the Bijan pick, by the way.
No. I mean, look, if Bijan could definitely be the 1.1 this year.
Right. One of these years, Bijan is going to be the 28 point per game running back that wins fantasy, and why not this year?
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. Running backs, I mean, this is kind of like, going strong. Taylor, Bijan, Junkins, and then you just filling it with some backline guys. Receivers, Harrison, which everyone's happy because he's buff now, right?
Yeah, so. Right. I mean, he was, like you said, he went at 111 last year. Now he's a 3rd round pick. I know in this draft, he went in the 3rd round. I would say he went, right on ADP.
Yeah, early.
Yeah, I think the price is fair on him this year.
Yeah, I agree. JMO, I've been taking a bunch of JMO. I think he could even do better than what he did last year. Sutton, Ricky Pearsall, Higgins, Kyle Williams. A little thin at receiver, but I mean.
Well, that's why I said, why take Cam Ward? Just take one more receiver, right?
Yeah. Or, Warren and likely Chig. I would maybe go Chig for one of the receivers. Just bet on Warren, just, being the guy. But
we're only busting his balls, though. He's a good drafter. That was actually a pretty good team, I have to say. I like how he put it together. I like he's making some big bets, and he's just like pushing his chips in. So we're only busting his balls.
Yeah, and in this contest, when you have 677 entries, and you're trying to win $2 million, you got to call your shots. You got to build the teams how you want to build. right?
No doubt, man. No doubt. So
Yeah,
you're gonna max out in this contest, or is that just too heavy of a price ticket on BBM?
man. I'm like 50-50 right now on it. Like, to be honest, like I would want to max it, but I don't know it because there's other contests I like doing as well.
Yeah. You like the
So
puppies? You like the $5 Superflex puppies?
I almost maxed the first puppy.
Okay.
Yeah,
That was
just said
was that single quarterback though, or is Superflex the first one?
the first one was single quarterback.
Single, right? Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
thought.
No, like the puppies are cool. I mess with the eliminators, marathon. I'm gonna do some,
Cool,
I'll,
man. No, you gotta. But the I also like some of the standalone contests. I know those are like probably Chicken Littles at this point, but where
like
you
these
just
ones there.
yeah, but not like when you get a 12-person draft and like the top person just gets basically all of the money. In that,
No,
it's a different way to draft. You don't need stacking and all those other things.
no, you could actually just draft more comfortable and just take the best players. You don't need to
Yeah,
try to structure a totally way.
totally. I mean, it's you win $50. It's like doing head to heads in DFS.
Yeah, and if you have an edge, in these, like, do it because you're more likely to make your money back than doing the tournaments.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, the tournaments, you're just like looking to advance. So
Yeah.
good stuff, my brother. No, you got a good stream going here. I think you're doing a service. I told you before the lights went on. There's a lot of big names doing this, but there's not a lot of people doing this. There's a real opportunity here to make a name and provide a good service for people doing these live streams. I love it when you do it.
No, I appreciate that, Alan. That means a lot. You were one of the guys I wrote on my list to have on this, so happy I could check that off for sure.
Check that shit off, baby. Check it
Yeah.
off. Bucket list. We did it.
We did it, baby. I'm gonna try to get you on again later in the summer.
Hell yeah.
It's long summer. Do you want to plug anything before you go?
Yeah, RotoWire YouTube. Just come check us out on the RotoWire YouTube page. I do the Dynasty podcast on there. So if you like Dynasty football, a lot of good stuff on there.
Alan's one of the best. I've been watching this guy for years, and he's definitely knows his stuff. His links are in my YouTube description, YouTube, RotoWire, and then his Twitter. So go check it out. Go follow. Appreciate everybody in the chat for coming, drafting, watching, and have a happy Father's Day, everybody. We are off. Peace out, stream.